Elite Facts presents
Famous wrestlers before they made it big.
23.
Is it just us, or does Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson actually look younger now than he did back in the day? Seriously, dude, what is that mustache all about?
22.
We looked at this picture for a fairly long time, asking ourselves why he looked so familiar. Then we saw it in the smile. This fresh-faced young man is none other than the hardcore legend himself, Mr. Mick Foley. His dress sense hasn't changed much.
21.
We're going to be real brave here and say that The Undertaker looks like a real dork in his school picture. Not that we would ever tell him that to his face. You can definitely see it in the eyes that this is the dead man himself.
20.
Judging from his photo, don't you think Shawn Michaels could make a Hollywood heartthrob? Apparently, the legendary WWE wrestler didn't always prefer wearing longer locks.
19.
Any big fan of WWE surely knows one of the greatest veterans in the industry. He wasn't just a tough one, but also an incredible trendsetter, although you can't tell it from the look on the younger Flair.
18.
Growing up with WWE at the tip of her finger, Stephanie McMahon grew to become one of the figures behind the empire. Here's a look at the daughter of Vince McMahon 2 decades apart.
17.
Born into a family of wrestlers, Randy Orton found it pretty easy to penetrate into the WWE. His father, Cowboy Bob Orton, was a professional wrestler and had a very successful career. Fortunately, the young Orton exceeded expectations and became an even more successful wrestler than his father.
16.
You'll have to have a keen eye to recognize who this blonde kid is. Check out the leopard print spandex, too. This is the complete opposite of what you'd expect Stone Cold Steve Austin to have grown from, but it sure is. The man many believe responsible for the Attitude Era is completely different.
15.
There's no stopping Triple H from ruling the WWE empire, but even before he had a shot in the arena and became the boss of the showground, Triple H was a pro in bodybuilding competitions and was even named as Teenage Mr. New Hampshire in 1988.
14.
Macho Man Randy Savage was a people's favorite from day one, and he is one of the most instantly recognizable characters from the entire WWE catalog. So to see him as a young, fresh-faced guy is a wonder to behold.
13.
Bill Goldberg certainly did not look as mean and tough back in high school. The one-man wrecking ball has always taken on all comers, but in this picture of a younger Goldberg, he looks far more mild-mannered. The kind of boy you would take home to meet your mama.
12.
Jeff Hardy has earned himself legions of fans with his enigmatic style and death-defying moves. However, back in the schoolyard, he was kind of dorky looking. We almost feel like he might be channeling Vanilla Ice with this look back in the day.
11.
Chris Jericho is highly regarded as one of the best superstars the WWE has ever had. His ability to shift from face to heel and his in-ring moves are incredible to behold. One of his defining features is his charisma and character, and judging by his cheeky grin, he's never changed.
10.
Even though he's probably the same height now as in this photo, it's the only way you'd know this little guy is Rey Mysterio. This is before the mask and when he was just little old Oscar Gutierrez.
9.
Lita was one of the divas who revolutionized the sport of wrestling for the girls. She had a cool, edgy style, hung out with the Hardy Boys, and wasn't afraid to get down and dirty in the ring with male and female competitors.
8.
Ryback is known for being one of the biggest, baddest dudes on the block, but he looks even bigger before his WWE days. He evolved since entering the Tough Enough competition as Skip Schofield, that's for sure, and he looks a little different with that mop of blonde hair.
7.
It's easy to see who this young man is, none other than the boss himself, Vince McMahon. He actually looks exactly the same as he does now. There is no mistaking who he is.
6.
It's pretty obvious to everyone who this guy is. It's none other than Kurt Angle. This image is actually before he even got a gold winner's medal at the Olympics. Do you remember the days when he still had hair? We will never forget that wig he tried to pull off after losing a hair match with Edge, insisting it grew back overnight as it was Olympic hair.
5.
We were pretty shocked when we saw this picture of a young Rikishi. He looks considerably thinner than in his WWE days. And can we talk about that afro for a second? Talk about funky.
4,
This face is instantly recognizable as Hulk Hogan, the man who you could argue propelled wrestling into the mainstream of television at its low point of modern times. I think we can forgive him for this terrible haircut, seeing as though he loses it all pretty soon.
3,
Have you guessed who this guy is yet? It's none other than Big Daddy Kevin Nash. Although his wrestling days are pretty much diluted and done, he still holds a special place in our hearts. Did you spot him playing a stripper in Magic Mike at all?
2,
Before he moved into wrestling, Roman Reigns was a football player. He hasn't changed when you really look at him, other than adding some muscle.
1.
Here we have Seth Rollins, who is very different from the former WWE champion we all know now.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more Elite Facts.